Councilor Suset Daba.
Murag ka na nga ang
Balhin
gulya.
ka? Are you sure? Kay ibalhin ta ka. Okay, okay. Okay, sige, sulti lang ha. Ha? Okay.
Intentional, Madam Chair.
Councilor Balaba is already at the back. No more at your back.
He is very sad, Majority Floor. Ako yung likod.
Okay. Kaya ikaw ang likod, hisad.
Ikaw na lagi.
Maybe we can accommodate sitting side by side also.
Yeah, yeah. You want sitting side by side? Side? You can sit there at the back. Then okay. Anyway, proceed, Majority Floor Leader.
Thank you,
Ayan,
Madam
Mark
Presiding
Taya.
Officer.
Okay.
We are now on the special report portion. We have first is Councilor James K. Judith II on the illegal terminal and fare metrics of public utility vehicles flying to and from the Macabalan port area. Then Councilor Amy Rose Moreno would like to render a report on the plight of the transport sector under the implementation of the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program. And Councilor John Michael Seno informed me that there are families from the winning athletes who are with us in the gallery. Maybe he can also render a special report as the third reporter.
Okay.
So Councilors Judith, Moreno, and Seno.
Okay, thank you very much, my Majority Floor Leader. Ayan, Mark Nakaya. Yes, Councilor Attorney James Judith, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excuse me. Sa atong halangdong Vice Mayor, Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, sa akong tinahod nga mga kauban sa konseho, ug ubay-ubay manggid ang atong katawhan diya sa likod nga bahin, sa mga gingsakpan sa prensa, atong mga bisita, kaninyong tanan, maupay. Ang Cagayan de Oro, naila sa sangon nga the City of Golden Friendship. Kung sa Binisaya pa, ang dakbayan sa Bulawanong panaghinikalaay. Kini gisimbolohan sa giunsa nato pag-abi-abi ang atong mga bisita sa nagkadaiyan natong mga ganghaan sama sa tugpahanan sa atong duha ka mga bus terminals, ang eastbound o westbound ug ang ato dayng dungguanan. Apan ang akong paghahisgutan karong hapuna sa akong special report kabahin ani atong dungguanan diha sa may Macabalan. Kay dili malalis nga ang sagad nga gasakyan sa atong katawhan ang yanong lungsoranon ang barko man nga gikan sa lain-lain nga mga bahin sa atong nasud. Nasayod man kita nga ang atong mga bisita kung dini manggaling magdunggo ang barko naning palad kana sila nang yawit. Nangindahay. Nangyawat. Nangindahay nga mamaayo ang dagan sa ilang kinabuhi. Apan, nay usa ka butang nga di wa ko nahimuot kay nasayra nako mao kini. Walay lalis nga daghan kayo ang mga PUVs, mga sakyanan nga pangpasayro nga motabo sa ila pag mudunggo ang barko diha sa gawas gyud sa PPA compound. Naadya mga habal-habal, naadya ang mga jeep di pasayroan, naadya ang rela, naadya ang van, naadya ang taxi. Nisingit naman gani pod ang gitawag nato nga kining tricycle. Apan dili man para kanako issue ang kining illegal terminal. Ang dako nga issue para kanako kay kini man nga kining mga driver ani nga mga sakyanan. Kay dili mo dawat og pasayro kung ang mga pasayro dili mo uyon sa ilang gihanyag nga kontrata. Makita nimo kay sa rela man lang gali, rela. Gikan sa pier, paingon sa agora, dili moubos 300. Lugusa gali na 300 kay ang going rate is 500. Nisampa na gani po ang sikat. Kay dito lang sa unahan, gikan ka diya sa pier, unahan lang, dili moubos og isa ka gatos ang pakyaw. Samot na ang taxi, dili moubos og 500. Samot na pod ang van, dili moubos og tagpila kalibo. Ang ako man inani. Kay kaning mga tawhana naning palad ra baya dinhi sa atong dakbayan. Wa baya ni kwarta. Unya unsa na lang ilang ikaingon sa atong dakbayan. Asa naman ang atong pagka the City of Golden Friendship nga dinhi palang daan sa atong ganghaan, diha pa lang sa dungguanan, ato naman silang gituok. Ang akong panawagan mao kini sa atong RTA nga makig-alayong sa LTFRB. Kaya nga naman, mas maayo pa man diay noon nga magsakay ka og eroplano, diya ka sa atong tugpahanan sa lagindingan, kay diretso ka naman dayon makasakay. Ikaw pa'y malibog pa ka kung unsi mong pilion, Donsals ba ka or Magnum. Walay problema. Sa atong eastbound o westbound terminal, pwede ra ka manaog, naaraman din mo agid ang mga jeep di pasayro o guban pa, naapod ang mga taxi. Apan dinin noon sa atong pier, maglisod ka kay dili ka pasakyon kung dili ka muuyon kung ikontrata ang imong pagsakay. Kung dili ni nato masumpo, makahatag baya ni kadaot o sa kadungganan o imahin sa atong dakbayan. Makaingon sila nga atong mga bisita, asa naman ang giingon nga dakbayan sa bulawanong panaghigalaay. Hangyo lang ko. Akong balikon ang atong panawagan sa RTA nga makigalayong sa LTFRB. Hunungon tanan ni. Panahon nga hunungon taktani kay plastarhan ay manggani sa atong tugpahanan o sa atong mga eastbound or mga bus terminals, eastbound o westbound, kanin na hinuon ang sa atong dungguanan. Daghang salamat, Asdang Cagayan de Oro.
Thank you, Councilor Attorney James Judith. Yes, Councilor Romeo Calizo, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and good afternoon to my colleagues and to all. Yeah, I agree with the report of our good Councilor, Attorney James Judith. But although I know his prayers to bring this before the Committee on Public Utilities, where probably in aid of legislation we can discuss further. But if we have to go into the details of the codified ordinance, specifically in the traffic code, all the terms in the local law are explicitly defined, Madam Chair. And to me, it's really a challenge to the bureaucracy of our local government to enforce the law. If there are operators, drivers of public utility vehicles who are violating the law, then there's an appropriate process to apprehend them or to take appropriate action against these people. So although this is a challenge to not only RTA maybe the police has a say on this, I still subscribe to the prayer of the reporter that this be discussed before the committee. Okay. So while we will set a day for this, for the discussion, I hope that this report can reach as soon as possible the appropriate department of this of our local government, Madam Chair, and this should be this should reach them documented so that they'll act accordingly as per explanation and presentation of the reporter. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Yes, Councilor Bernie Sparcia.
Madam Chair, mayong hapon sa atong tanan, nagtanaw sa online, sa atong mga bisita, mayong hapon. Madam Chair, just a rejoinder. 2 points lang. First, Madam Chair, kita pag mobisita ta sa usa ka lugar, dako kayog impact ang mga pantalan o mga airports. If kita bag-o sa usa ka lugar o medyo pangit ang atong experience o feeling nato murag usahay mo ko di man takabalo sa plite kay bag-o lagi ta, pero kung later may bawa nato through our relatives natong gibisitahan, maingon nga gitigbas man na inyohang plite, dili man na yung ana dapat. So for me, Madam Chair, it will leave a bad taste sa atong mga bisita. Og dako kay na siya nga impact labi na nga gusto nato nga daghay mo bisita sa syudad. Number 2, the other day, uban mi ni General Caliso and also Councilor Seno, ang atong LTFRB nag-ingon na nga naprobahan na ang atong what's that, LPTRP, no? Mo ni siya ang mga bag-o nga mga rota para sa dakbayan sa Cagayan de Oro. And I'm sure usa diha ang maagian sa atong mga modernized jeepneys diha sa may pantalan. And hopefully tana masolve po ni ang atong problema diha sa pantalan kung namang galing ni. But I think for the meantime, kung wala pa ma-implement na, tama ang panawagan sa atong good reporter, Madam Chair, nga ato ning pagatutok sa atong komitiba nga ato gining maistoryahan. Dagang salamat, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Councilor Bernice Parcia. Yes, Councilor Roger Abaday, you recognize?
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officer, Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bibot Rodriguez, my colleagues in the 20th City Council, and all people who are watching us and listening us today. That is a very valid special report of Councilor Asdang Judith. No? That was not happening just now. It was already long ago. And this is not also happening in Cagayan de Oro alone. Laging Dingan, mato ka sa Cebu, mato ka sa Manila, there are several transport there, oh, na ay sa airport, Yellow Cab, na ay other transport dito, nga, nasa ay Grab. So, it's the choice of the passenger. If you do not want to be deceived, then you have to look for another alternative vehicle. Oh. Diya sa Lingdingan, na ay door-to-door. Pero kada pasahero, yato door-to-door, madugay sa ka. Kay kada mang door sa pasahero. Na pwede ay mga unmarked vehicles sa Lagigdingan or other places in pier, in airport. So, dili lang sa Cagayan de Oro pangitabo. May tabo ni sa asang lugar, no? So, may sab check sa ni para sa mga dili sab labi na tong mga bag-ulang, mga estranyo. This should also be warned and be wise nga di lang sila magpaila diretso, no? Bisag mangita sila laing pamaagi, laing choice sa kinaman sa atong mga ubang transport, no? So it's good that this was brought out by our good councilor, and I think the Committee on Public Utility and Traffic will also look into this matter in order to protect also the integrity of the city of Cagayan de Oro. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councilor Roger Abaday. Yes, Councilor Attorney Joey Abu.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. As suggested by Councilor Caliso, that this matter should be referred to the proper agency, documented. Aside that we will refer this matter to the Committee on Public Utilities, I suggest, Madam Chair, that so that the attention of the LTFRB would also be called formally, then we might as well issue a resolution. This council will issue a resolution urging them to conduct on their part an investigation on these complaints, so that on their part they can also act upon these matters, and at the same time in the city council level, this matter will be referred to the proper Committee on Public Utilities for further investigation and enabling legislation. That would be all, Madam Chair. Probably the reporter can move for a resolution of that matter.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Attorney Joy Abu. Yes, Councilor Bernice Parcia.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Usa lang among gusto maklaro ani Madam Chair. Tama tong giingon ni Councilor Abaday nga we could give options. Bahala pag na ay luxury cars, ana, at least kabalota kung asa gusto ko karon magvan, ana, na-fix, na-sakto yun. Ang ato raman, I think, sa akong pagsabot, what we want is dilitaan ang gusto ng ilad-ilad nga. Di ta kabalo ba nga, o pagsakay ani, dahil kontrata ta, imong gitanaw ni mong naw, nakakwintas og mahalon, basi pwede ra ni 500. Actually, mura na gusto na to nga point diri, Madam Chair. And again, okay to nga, we will give options sa mga airport, sa mga pantalan, bahala na din sila. Basta at least kabalo sila nga kung mag-van ko, money ang presyo. Kung maghabal-habal ko, mauni siya ang presyo. Nga naagyo sila ipadulngan og dili sila ang dating kailaron, Madam Chair. Mura na ato, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Councilor Bernice Parcia. Yes, any more comments? Actually, this has really have to be implemented because we cannot tolerate it varying fare, no? Depende lang kasi makabot, pila lang. So let us strengthen our ordinance and we allow kanang legitimate lang gyud nga mga unsa ni fair kay it's not also fair to those traveling who are coming in nga maglisod gihapon kay nobody is controlling, nobody is checking pila may plate gyud. So anybody can just butang na pila yung presyo. So yes, would you like to make a motion? But then this will be referred also to the public utilities.
Madam Chair, alay sa sugyot ni Konsehal Joey Abo, I move, Madam Chair, for the endorsement of the City Council for the LTFRB to conduct investigation on the matter.
Proper time.
At the proper time.
So are you going to do a motion, resolution at the proper time? So dili pa karon. Okay, but then we have to refer to the committee. Okay. So Mr. Secretary, refer to the committee on public utilities. So thank you very much. So the next speaker is Councilor Aimee Moreno. You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good afternoon, Honorable Vice Mayor Jocelyn Bebot Rodriguez, ang ato ang Majority Floor Leader, Ayan Mark Nakaya, and of course, ako ang mga kauban sa 20th City Council, and sa mga guests nato karong afternoon once again. So this is actually semi-related to what Councilor James Judith had reported. Semi-related. So, just this January 18, 2023, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board released Memorandum Circular 003, opening of applications for the issuances of new certificates of public conveniences of the approved routes of Cagayan de Oro City, Misamis Oriental, Local Public Transport Route Plan, the LPTRP, which had been mentioned by Councilor Malvern Esparcia, under the implementation of Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program. Now, the said LPTRP, this is just in a nutshell, is the much-awaited document among our transport operators, as this is a requirement for them to avail of the financing program from our government-owned banks. Kini nga LPTRP was 4 years in the making. So to refresh us of the main issue, the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program was launched by the DOTR, Department of Transportation of the Philippines, in 2017. With the goal of making the country's public transportation system efficient and environmentally friendly, the program calls for the phasing out of jeepneys, buses, and other public utility vehicles that are at least 15 years old, replacing them with safer, more comfortable, and more environmentally friendly alternatives. Now, the Land Bank of the Philippines estimates that each jeepney would cost about 1.4 million to 1.6 million, plus interest would reach about 2.1 million pesos per unit. Now, regarding the new route plan, a new guideline called the Omnibus Franchising Guidelines, or the OFG, was signed in the process of issuing jeepney franchises, and under the OFG, LGU are required to come up with their own LPTR, and under this guideline, single unit operators will no longer be granted franchises. When it comes to financing, we have two government-owned banks who are assisting our operators. We have the DBP with the program Pasada, which is the program assistance to support alternative driving approaches, and also under Land Bank of the Philippines, which is SPEED, the Special Environment Friendly and Efficiently Driven Jeepney Program. And in compliance, while the Vehicle Modernization Program was highly criticized, I'm sure everyone remembers a few years back how our operators had reacted to the said program, no? It was being criticized for being anti-poor, as it highly discriminates small operators who do not have resources to buy the expensive modern jeeps and buses. Our local operators decided to organize themselves and form their own transport cooperatives so that they can avail of the bank financing to purchase those modern jeepneys, with the hope that they can continue to make use of their franchises and to continue to earn a living. Now, while we are all excited already to see new modern jeepneys in our city streets, and just today, Oro Transport Cooperative had just launched their 15 new units. And the recent release of the Memorandum Circular 003 has actually made our local transport operators worry that they might lose their franchises in favor of the bigger transport players. Some of the transport co-op groups visited me last week, expressing their concern that their old routes might be given to new players and that they might not be able to pay for mortgage if they don't have assigned routes. And just today, the Oro Transport Cooperative had purchased 15 units with the slight fear that they might not be given access to the said routes. Whether their growing apprehension has merit or not, I think this is one of the very reasons why we, as a city council, exist. And that is to protect the interest of those who cannot protect themselves. Considering that this is a new law, the next steps are indeed crucial, that more than ever, we have to be vigilant in safeguarding the rights of our small local transport operators so that they will not be deprived of their decent livelihood. As former President Ramon Magsaysay once said, those who have less in life should have more in law. I therefore move for the Committee on Utilities, Transportation to probe this issue further and ensure that our local transport operators will stand a chance at availing of the financing program of the government banks and having their franchises renewed. I further move that all forms of assistance needed be extended to our local transport cooperatives in complying with their requirements for the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program, PUVMP. Dagang salamat.
Thank you very much, Councilor Amy Moreno. Yes, Councilor Michael Seno, then Councilor Romeo Calizo.
Good
Ato nga
afternoon.
saying kang aga, Councilor Aga, imo to ba? Lordan.
Good afternoon, Madam Presiding Officer. And of course, to the members of the 28th City Council, friends from Nabidia, and fellow Cagayanons, maghapon ka natong tanan. That was a good special report of Councilor Amy, no? Medyo nabalakag yun, no? In fact, atong mga silingan diya sa Kugon areas ng mga drivers nga medyo balaka sila kay lagi mo, wadaan niya silang panginabuyan. However, the prayer of the good councilor was to refer it to the Committee on Public Utilities May I ask, Madam Presiding Officer, with the good indulgence of the reporter, that the joint committee would tackle on this, the Committee on Cooperative and Committee on Public Utilities.
Okay.
Kaya ang pag-apply karon sa rota, Madam Presiding Officer, as what I have remembered during the last time, no, katong giparepresenta in behalf of the mayor sa katong rota dito sa may uptown, there are more than 100 routes nga na-approve dani sa Cagayan de Oro. Kanang mga rota, Madam Presiding Officer, precisely gihimo na siya para man-decongest ang some areas nga gatabok-tabok na lang. No, daghan kayo gaagi diha unya ang atong mga bagong nga dalan dili ga kaagian. No, para ma-decongest sila. Munay unang solusyon lugar para mabahin ang atong transportation na sector kung asa sila mag-agi. Ang iyahang sulti, more than 50 will be open, no, kung wa ko masayop na mga routes. Duha ra man gyud ang option ani, Madam Presiding Officer, sa pag-apply. Wala na tong individual. This would be on corporation or cooperative. So, naaman ti CID, Madam Presiding Officer, and we have the Committee on Cooperatives. Basin pwede na to nga mahugpong sila, matabangan na to unsay mga requisitos nga gikinahanglan sa CDA para ma-register sila, no? And para pod nga naa sila personality to enter into contract nga mag-loan sa atong land bank or DBP. So in that way siguro, Madam Presiding Officer, the Committee on Cooperative could help sa inana na punto para pod nga ang atong mga kaigsunan in taon nga nangyawat nga manginabuhi, no? Matagaan og kahigayunan pod nga magpabilin sila sa ilahang naandan na nga trabaho, no? Sayon naman pagsulti nga naay other way nga mangitag panginabuhian, pero sa ako nang gisulti sa unahan, naandan na nila na inani ilang panginabuhi pag-drive sa sakyanan. So I hope, if that's okay with the good reporter, that the joint committee will tackle on this and to help also our transportation sector, labi na katong wala pay corporation, nga makahimo sila corporation para maka-enter into contract sila sa atuang duha ka bangko nga naghatag og loan. In fact, the land bank, last time daw ang ilahang pondo nga gihatag is only 1 billion. Sulti sa atuang taga-land bank account officer, karon naa na sila 10 billion pesos nga gi-allocate para nga ipaloan sa atuang mga kaigsuunan nga muna man na modernize naman gyud karon, kinahanglan na Euro 4, Euro 5. No, kuan na kanibang minus na kayo og problema sa atong para sa atong climate change, Madam Presiding Officer. That's my only prayer with the good indulgence of the reporter, Madam Presiding Officer. Good afternoon and to all.
Thank you very much, Councilor Michael Seno. Yeah, it should be, there will be a clear definition para dili ma-deprive po atong mga igsuon nga galisod, no? And now it is very clear nga pwede sila ma-apply as a cooperative, as a group. So that is really a very very good report for this transport, no? So Councilor Romeo Calizo.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Those were good suggestions.
Yeah.
And really, we have heard from the account manager of Land Bank that they have increased the availability of funds from 2 billion to 10 billion. And of course, this will be a challenge to our local government so that we will protect first the rights of our people of the transport business. And if we look into our latest profile on the needs of public transport among our constituents, gamay pagid kaayo ang atong transport services, Madam Chair.
Kulang.
Ito nga, di kita mabalaka, dagan pa man na. Gani, every day, if you try to observe the traffic, you go to the different primary streets, the prime thoroughfares of the city, dagang gyud ka atang diha nga mga estudyante nga way masakyan. Kulang pa gyud ang atong transport services. That's why the LPTRP, or the Local Public Transport Route Plan, has just been approved by the OTR. And when I talked with, we had a conversation with the LTFRB, it is already, they will now bring back the route plan to us for implementation. Now, initial 50 of the routes defined in the LPTRP will be opened. Nya gamay pa man ang mga cooperatives nga na-approvean. So, di gid angay mabalaka ang atong mga transport groups, pero sakto gid kung ingon sa atong good reporter, the Honorable Amy Moreno nga angay nato gid nga tudluan ang mga ga-apply. Kini atong mga abogado, tudluan gid sila kay in town di gid sila kabalo.
Lagi.
Kay ang mga requirements gani pag satisfy sa mga requirements for loan, etc., for application of 10 billion, dili sila kay balo. Magreklamo sila kay mabalaka sila. Pero di gyud sila angay mabalaka kay kinahanglan tabangan gyud. We have the committee on corporate. That's good. That's a good suggestion. It will be a conduit among the different committees. In fact, angay pud nga ato nang i-account pod na, atong i-profile na pod atong mga rota. Ug maayo na bugid atong mga infrastructure. Kay may mga gisugdan diri nga mga dalan di man tiwason. And these are parts of the LPTRP as defined, Madam Chair. So we should give assurance to our people in the transport services sector nga naagit kita nga mo tabang kanila para sa ilang mga applications, Madam Chair. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councilor Romeo Calizo. Yes, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas. Kita man ko siyang kamot lang.
Hello. Thank you very much,
Di ba siya gusto front seat?
Vice Mayor, maayong hapon sa tanan, maayong hapon sa ato. Now, I think everybody should understand this because, when we will pass a law or an ordinance that would affect the livelihood of our drivers, especially the poor, there is that reaction, not good reaction coming from them. But I think this should be explained to them further and more deeply. The core of the issue here is not about changing these motor vehicles for purposes of changing. It's about environment. In the Millennial Global Fund of the World Bank and the United Nations, there is now a program that a country can borrow money or can be given this capital of 200 million, and the purpose is to reduce the poverty level of that particular country. The Philippines is one of the signatory of this, being a member of that of the United Nations. But there is a caveat to that, Your Honor, please, Your Honor, Madam Chair. The caveat is this: you will be given this money, but you have to reduce your carbon footprints. And one of the promises that we made to avail of this financing program was this law now that nga atong katong mga sakinan nga 15 anyos na ato ginailis na sa bago. Environment. Kita na environment ang purpose niya ini. The capital comes from the private and the government sector of the richer countries. Gani, kung ato kag Davao, girlie, I was there, we were there in Davao. You can see the long lines of taxi, mga taxi nga gipanghipos na wala gipadagan. So, kita tingali dinis kagayan di wala kay talang kaayo ta makasabot nini. Nga importante kini kaayo nga magsugod gi kita. Now, mao na nga Madam Chair, ang ato lagi dini nga ipasabot na to sa ato mga kaksyon driver nga we are not here to compress them and add burden to their already suffering families, but I think this is part of a more wider purpose nga ang survival sa atong nasod. So I am in favor of this. But, realities, kung ato ka sa Cebu, kung wala ka ng angkas nila karon ya, maglisod din sa kinan ang mga tao, mga estudyante, mga trabahante sa mga kaning mga kaning teleperformance nga kadlawon ka pamauli. So asa man sila gasalig? Wala sila magsalig gining atong mga bag-o nga mga dagko nga sakinan sa Kostrangko sa Canada. Dini sila sa angkas. Mga motor nga gagmay nga mubayad sila nga na-available permit sila. So, brato pag yun, nga, pas-pas kayo, makasuot-suot, dali sila makauli silang mga balay. So, how do we balance this? How do we balance this? Mo ka na nga, lisod kini kayo, we have to discuss this. Kay, properly, unsang alternatibo ang atong mahatag sa mga tao. If we will stop using these jeepneys and these motorelas and these tricycles, what would be the alternative? Because people must have their transportation. Kulang kita, we don't have any, wala man tagi public transportation program. Wala. Nothing, zero. Ang uba mga nasod sa kalibutan nga nanay ilang mga subway stations, mga train, RPT, kita wa kanita bus rapid transport kay wala man nato mahangyo ang why? Because we did not prepare a very good public transport system. So, how can you balance this? So, aside from talking about stopping all these 15-year-old or more cars, let us now start talking about public transport. Public transport. Metro Cagayan de Oro is becoming a reality. But what do we have? Do we have any system to transport people and goods as fast as we should do, as we can, to activate our economy more? Wala. Mo ka na, Madam Chair, nga, sige na trabaho ani. But then, where will the poor do? What kind of transportation will they use? Okay lang sa mga sapian, kaya naman ilang mga auto. We don't even encourage people to use the bicycle. Bisa nga ni sa motor, mga bicycle, atong kapangligson sa dalan. We don't even respect people using the bicycle. Public transport is also important if we want to have a successful program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas. That was a very good input. Councilor Amy Moreno, did you raise your hand? Yes, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Actually, this is in relation to what Honorable Councilor Jen Calizo had mentioned a while ago, no? Actually, what the cooperatives or the transport sector are going through right now is more of the birth pains and their transition to modernization. It was really difficult for them to accept it, but now that they have accepted it, all they really actually want is assurance and guidance. And having heard what General Calizo had mentioned, I'm sure this is more than an assurance for our cooperatives, labi na ang mga ginagmay na cooperatives. So kana lang, thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilor Amy Moreno. Yes, Majority Floor Leader, Councilor Ayan Mark Nakaya.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Thank you for the report, Councilor Amy, and of course the reactions from our colleagues. I asked a little while Councilor Romeo Calizo as regards the consultants that we have secured in the previous administration, whether Dr. Engineer, she's an engineer by profession, and she had her PhD in abroad. I do not know the specific field, but she's now teaching on civil works and transportation at Xavier University, Dr. Abuzo, and a person of interest also, the chair, previously designated and appointed as the chair of the advisory board on transportation, Engineer Kahulugan, who incidentally has a master's degree on transportation, Madam Presiding Officer, who created the traffic management plan in the FIBUDEC singly when she was in the FIBUDEC. I understand that there were no renewal of appointments yet, and maybe perhaps at the proper time we can recommend to the city mayor the renewal of the services of these two ladies who have been successful, I guess. Those mentioned by Councilor Ed Cabanlas as regards the master plan of the transportation of Cagayan de Oro, I personally witnessed having been presented to by the two ladies, Madam Presiding Officer. We already have a looping system for the close range train railway in Cagayan de Oro with the connection to the local transport, like even this modernized program for shuttles, even connected to bicycle lanes. And the presentation was really appropriate for Cagayan de Oro. When I say looping system, it traverses from District 2 to District 1 and going back to the other parts of Cagayan de Oro. That's a mass transit system. They already presented that to the committee, and it was also presented to me in the month of June 2022. And we're hoping that the proposal will now be presented to the city, but we cannot demand from them if they are not in the government service. Instead, maybe we can seek for the executive's consideration of the renewal of their services and to continue with what they have started as a board to direct the affairs of transportation. I do not know the dynamics in RTA, why in this time of hour they have not been renewed. But to my mind, they can be a great service to the city if these professionals will be renewed to their old post, Madam Presiding Officer. Maybe at the proper time, with the kind indulgence of Councilor Romeo Calizo and all the entire members of the council, will pass a resolution to this effect, Madam Presiding Officer.
Yeah, thank you very much, Majority Floor Leader, Councilor Arian Mark Nakaya. That is a very good idea. So, academe, resource person, those who are knowledgeable will help the committee, will help the entire city so that naagi sakto gyud yung makaguide na to. So, hopefully, in the proper time, no? So that is a very good report. And this, I know that this, our people in Cagayan, Labito Galiso, they do not know how to do it, how to go about it in applying, and those who are into cooperatives and group, dako kayong inatabang, no? So, in the proper time, we will have this resolution. So, any more comment? Councilor Bernie, Sparcia, yes.
Madam Chair, thank you very much. I'm just going back to the special report of our beautiful reporter, Councilor Amy Moreno. Madam Chair, tama kayo. Na-feel nato kasi usa man gyud sa giproblemahan aning mga drivers kay kana laging what if kumulon sila, mukuha sila sa programa. Usa gyud sa perminti ang ila ding problema is base unyag di sila kabayad tungod kay daghan sila kompetensya sa ilang mga rota. Madam Chair, that's why I commend the very young, dynamic chairman of the Public Utilities and Transportation. Kay kung assurance lang ang atong gistorya, Madam Chair, sa mga naminaw nga driver, that's why bitaw nga sa komitiba perminti na mo giprotektahan ang kanang mga gasulod, sama na lang ang mga bao-bao o kanang uban mga transport companies nga dili sa Cagayan de Oro gasulod o gakawat sa mga rota diri sa dakbayan sa Cagayan de Oro. That's why the committee is so particular o ginatutukan yun na kay para lagi natay assurance aning atong mga Cagayanon because we want this is about time nga i-priority nato ang taga Cagayan de Oro. And in fairness to the transport group na taga Cagayan de Oro, kung na may modernization o na may ingani nga development, dapat sila gyud ang atong priority gayon.
Yeah.
Mora na, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Councilor Bernice Esparza. Yes, Cagayanon should be the priority sa atong transport group. So, no more comment, ha? Is there okay. So, Councilor Michael Seno, you're recognized. Next reporter.
Good afternoon once again, Madam Presiding Officer. We have here the athletes and coaches who won the Batang Pinoy held in Began City, Ilocos Sur last December 17 to 21, 2022. Out of 135 cities and municipalities that joined, kadi sino'y bigay yung taon. Pero maayo na, Madam Presiding Officer, 19th place out of 135. So, top 20 ta, Madam Presiding Officer. I would commend also the OIC City Sports Coordinator, Mr. Romary Guro. He's right. Tindog sa, kay murag di na ba ka makita. Atong bagong sports coordinator. And if I may start, Madam Presiding Officer, I would call on the athletes, no? We have here on chess, standard game kay limited naman ni Madam Presiding Officer, dili man tanan sports event na ay face to face. So, let's say for example, taekwondo, wala man sila. Virtual lang. Online lang. Oh. Lagi taekwondo, virtual lang. Kata.
Siya pa kaigo.
Na ilang pagkuhan, nalay murag tao diya dito nila i-perform. Oh. Ang naalang ditong face-to-face, Madam Presiding Officer, is only chess, and then badminton, and swimming. No? So, sa ato ang standard game sa chess, we have here Tan Janel. If you are here, please do rise.
Okay. Janelle.
Kapalitan Zauyo.
Pakta.
Caninyo Ruel. Sirinya Lila. Pabilin lang pagtindog ha sa katong matawag na. And of course, team si Pakinol and Kapalitan. Sa atong blitz game, we have here Tan Janel, silver. Pakinol Asli, silver. And team Pakinol and Kapalitan, gold.
Okay.
We have rapid game, Pakinol Asli, bronze. Kapalitan Zauyo, gold. We have here Jamal Ramat Pandi, the son of one of the mayor in Lanao area. Jamal Ramata Pandi, gold, single.
Oh.
They bring the city of Cagayan de Oro. And of course, bronze, double, Jasmine Ray Reformina and Kate Julien Okladina. For the swimming, silver, Tia Lagunay. And of course, we will acknowledge also their coaches. Kay mag-unsa man lang sila, Madam Presiding Officer, kung wala ang coaches also.
Yes.
We have here Jasfir Gonzalez sa chess and Renan Cantilado. For our badminton, we have here Ramil Reformina. And of course, sa swimming, Idson Blanco, Madam Presiding Officer. All in all, we have garnered 7 golds, 4 silvers, and 3 bronze.
Wow, congratulations. Congratulations
And of
to
course, that's muna to. Yeah, there are 100 plus. Okay, we have 135 municipalities and cities man ang nag-participate. And of course, they would also receive, no, sa katong mga incentives nato sa atong mga athletes.
Okay.
I think which now the city sports are preparing their documents also. So napo
Okay.
tay catch incentive sa ngatong ihatag sa ilaha.
Okay, sige. Okay, thank you very much.
And then if I may, can we have a picture?
Photo op?
Photo op? May I move for the suspension?
Any
To
second?
participate non-members.
Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried. Paluol sila. Hindi naman sila sa likod.
Single room para 22.5. Hindi ba na i-charge? Hindi na kamasa inong gabay ba? Hindi single room yan.
Okay, mag-message
Everybody, please return to your seats. Nagpila pa? O, sige, sige. Okay. Wait, Sata, wait. Okay na? Okay na? Okay.
I move, Madam Presiding Officer, to lift the suspension of the rules.
Second. Objection? Hearing none, motion is, no. Session resumed.
Congratulations again to our athletes and the coaches who assisted our athletes mayong hapon. We now proceed to the business of the day. The first item is proposed resolution number 2023-255, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay Bisigande City its ordinance number 2, series of 2022, covering its supplemental budget number 1 for calendar year 2022 with an estimated income of 101,112 pesos, with information that said ordinance is operative in its entirety. May we ask the Chair to recognize Councilor John Michael Seno.
Councilor John Michael Seno, you're recognized.
I so move for the resolution number 2023-255.
Any second? Objection? I hear none, motion is hereby carried.
I likewise move for the approval of the second final reading.
Second. Objection? I hear none, motion is hereby carried.
Number 2 is proposed resolution number 2023-256, returning to the Barangay Council of Barangay number 31, the city. It's ordinance number 1-2023, covering its annual budget for calendar year 2023 with an estimated income of 7,861,812 pesos, with information that said ordinance is operative in its entirety. May we ask the Chair to recognize Councilor Roger Abaday.
Councilor Roger Abaday, you're recognized.
Number 2.
I move, Madam Chair, and his colleagues, to the approval of the resolution, considering that all the requirements are all in order.
Second. Objection? I hear none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection? I hear none, motion is hereby carried.
Number 3 is proposed resolution number 2023-257, accrediting the basic ecclesial community homeowners.
Excuse me, please. Quiet. Are you in session?
Again, number 3 is proposed resolution number 2023-257, accrediting the basic ecclesial Community Homeowners Association for the purposes of its membership in the local special bodies pursuant to DILG Memorandum Circular Number 2022-83 and Article 64, Rule 13 of the Rules and Regulations implementing the 1991 Local Government Code, or funding its project from the city or other sources as required under the COA circular pertinent thereto. Move for its approval, Madam Presiding Officer.
Second. Objection? I hear none, motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection? I hear none, motion is hereby carried.
4 is proposed ordinance number 2023-99, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Rolando A. Uy, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro, to file the applications for the issuance of special patents in the name of the city with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, DNR, covering the herein described 6 properties owned by the local government unit of Cagayan de Oro, as listed, Madam Presiding Officer, on the cadastral lot numbers, locations, tactical declaration numbers, and land areas. May we ask the Chair to recognize Councilor Edgar Cabanlas.
Councilor Edgar Cabanlas, you're recognized.
These ordinance are all in order. Madam Chair,
What is in order?
reviewed. Honorable,
What is in order, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas?
these are the, I think the Vice Mayor understood the situation. So therefore, I move for the approval of this special patent application.
Okay, thank you. Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Our apologies, wala ko kita nagikan dahil sa gawa. Partner, move to approve second final reading.
Any second? Any objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 5 is proposed ordinance number 2023-100, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Rolando A. Uy, representing the City Government of Cagayan de Oro, to sign the herein subdivision plans as built plans of the housing projects of the city under the management of Task Force Emancipation of Piso-Piso beneficiaries to wit. All the 7 housing projects are listed, and the locations of the said projects are all contained in the matrix, Madam Presiding Officer. Again, for the recognition of Councilor Edgar Cabanlas.
Councilor Edgar Cabanlas, you recognize.
Parang nakabantay ni Gid. Madam Chair, I move for the approval. This ordinance is very important because our mayor now has to sign again
Okay.
these documents. Thank you very much.
Any second?
Second.
Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
May we manifest, Madam Presiding Officer, to congratulate the team of Councilor Ed Cabanlas, because this has been for the longest time projects that were not documented, and now they are all under the name of the City of Cagayan de Oro with all the pertinent legal documents. So congratulations. Councilor Ed.
Congratulations, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas and your team, no? Yes.
Move to
Ice cream.
Next week. Dili preparado sad kung karon. Di sad preparado. Move, humana ba? Second final reading? Move to approve second final reading.
Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 6 is proposed ordinance number 2023-101, approving the development permit of the Tignapuluan Socialized Housing Project, on-site resettlement with an area of 11,156 square meters containing 120 lots located in Barangay Tignapuluan, the city, as applied for by the City Government of Cagayan de Oro, represented by Honorable City Mayor Rolando A. Uy, subject to the compliance of the conditions imposed by the City Housing and Urban Development Department, CHUD, and the City Engineer's Office. Again, for the recognition, if Councilor Cabanlas would give Councilor Jose Pepe Abo to place the necessary motion.
Councilor Attorney Jose Pepe Abo, you recognize.
Everything is in order, Madam Chair. I move for the approval of proposed ordinance number 2023-101.
Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 7 is proposed ordinance number 2023-102, approving the preliminary subdivision plan, development plan PSDP of a Skyline Residences subdivision project under PD 957 with an area of 34,696 square meters containing 47 lots located in Barangay Balulang, the city, as applied for by the A. Brown Company Incorporated, represented by its compliance supervisor, Joy F. Magadan, subject to compliance of the conditions issued by the City Housing and Urban Development Department, CHUD, and the City Engineer's Office. Again, for the recognition, maybe in lieu of the two gentlemen, may we ask the Chair to recognize Councilor James K. Judith.
Councilor Attorney James Judith, you recognize. Ay, tudluin.
Bernay, imo sa neto yun, yung mabulabog. Number 7. Madam Chair, considering that everything is in order, I move to approve for the approval of proposed ordinance number 2023-102.
Second. Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 8, move to approve second final reading.
Second. Any objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 8 is proposed ordinance number 2023-103, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Rolando A. Uy, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the Memorandum of Understanding with the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, represented by its Mission Director Ryan Washburn, covering the implementation of the Cities Development Initiative, CDI, Cities for Enhanced Governance and Engagement Change, activity under the terms and conditions stipulated therein. May we ask the Chair to recognize Councilor Suzette Magtakas Daba.
Councilor Suzette Daba, you're recognized.
Madam Chair, I move to approve proposed ordinance number 2023-103.
Any second? Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Omnibus motion for items 9A and B. A, proposed ordinance number 2023-104, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Rolando A. Uy, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the memorandum of agreement with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources Environment Management Bureau Region 10, represented by its Regional Director Rinaldo S. Digamo, covering the provisions of brand new preliminary disinfection and storage facility, a 20-footer container van with a 4.5-ton capacity for collected COVID-19 related waste under the terms and conditions stipulated therein. And B, proposed ordinance number 2023-105, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Rolando A. Uy, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro as donee, to sign the deed of donation executed by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources Environment redundant through the Environmental Management Bureau Region 10 as donor, covering one set of preliminary disinfection and storage facility, a 20-footer container van with a 4.5-ton capacity, including miscellaneous items amounting to 800,000 pesos for the implementation of the local healthcare waste management under the terms and conditions stipulated therein in the deed of donation attached here to. May we ask the Chair to recognize Councilor Roger G. Abaday.
Councilor Roger Abada, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Majority Floor. Madam Chair, considering that the proposed ordinance number 23-104 and ordinance 23109 is favorable to the city government, I move for the approval of these two ordinances.
Second. Objection? Okay. Councilor Romeo Calizo, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I have no objection to for the approval of the said ordinance. However, it should be understood that the utilization of this equipment is only for the storage of the infectious waste. And there's no mentioning about how we are going to dispose of the infectious waste that will be stored in this particular facility. That's why I hope that there'll be a contingency plan on how to utilize this equipment, because it might end up just a waste stored in that particular equipment, and there's no ensuing appropriate action on this, Madam Chair. So that's just my simple suggestion, although I also support for the approval of this ordinance.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilor Romeo Calizo.
That would be a call for oversight, Madam Presiding Officer. Maybe the Committee on Environment, after
Yeah,
the
and health.
execution of this MOA, can well represent the opinion and the appeal of Councilor General Romeo Calizo to oversee whether this will only be a containment or there are channels and processes that would dispose all these COVID-19 effects, Madam Presiding Officer. So perhaps our committee can handle that at the proper time.
Okay, okay.
So we'll just proceed as manifested that there is no objection.
Councilor Roger Abaday.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. As per query of Councilor Calizo, during the committee meeting, which I have attended, during the presentation of this facility. I asked the CLINRO if our hazardous waste facilities kanang kuan sa mga mga solid waste kanang mga hazard nga mga kuan sa hospital and mga kanang ipanggamit sa ato mga medical clinic is already functioning. According to CLINRO, it's already functioning. So kining mga niya din sa facility kining sa PDS preliminary inspection or storage. Pag gumana ni og warang sanitize sa siya dito ibutang sa So it is now that facility will take charge of this waste, Madam Chair and my colleagues.
So what happens to the waste?
If
Storage
storage after which parang i-sanitize, then it will be disposed to our there is a building their facility muna siya mo kuan dugmo parang mo grind mo kuan para pino, then it will be put to our kanang dunay area dia sa atong sanitary landfill nga intended for that purpose.
Okay. Okay, any more comment?
He came prepared.
He came prepared. So what happens to the storage itself? Katong diha gi-store. So what happens to the unsay gamit? We'll see.
Dito ni siya, Madam Chair, i-dispose ka na pandya, na area nga intended for that, dito na siya ibutang.
Lagi, pag human na we're talking about COVID, mga hazardous.
Leave it underground. Okay, Councilor Sino.
Okay, Councilor Michael Seno, you recognize?
Madam Presiding Officer, naamata during sa committee deliberation ani. Kani siyang gihatag is 20-footer, mura ni siya katong kanap itong ginakarga.
Kanang karga sa pier.
Container. Ang purpose ani Madam Presiding Officer, kung naatay, say for example, vaccination, ang mga waste magod nila ang kargahan, dili siya design para sa pag-contain kay hazard. Kuan man Pwede man siya, infectious man siya, makatakod kung pintahay na ikuan. So, muna siya ang kargahan. So, madala-dala ni sa Madam Presiding Officer, dahil ni-store dahil dito, muna na yung i-process dayon. Muna ipamaagi sa kanang gi-turnover sa atuwa. So, 20-footer, nga pwede matransport na to bisag asa nga area.
Okay.
Muna kargahan, bale. Dayon, katong gi-explain din ni Councilor Roger, muna din itong proseso dito sa atong sanitary landfill.
So kaning container para ragyan ni siya.
Yeah,
para
transport,
kargahan.
yeah.
Okay. Get it. Thank you. So where are we? Majority Floor Leader?
So next time, binisayo nimo, dili nimo in English. But he came prepared, Madam Presiding Officer.
Yes.
came
Because he
prepared.
knows where to bring the the hazardous material.
Lagi,
Okay.
importante kayo Delikado.
So, did
So
we,
the prevailing motion is for the approval.
Okay, second. Any objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 10 is proposed ordinance number 2023-106 authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Rolando A. Uy, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the memorandum of agreement MOA with the Socialized Housing and Finance Corporation, represented by its president, Mr. Federico A. Laksa, covering the collaboration of the parties and implementation of the latter's community mortgage program in order to address the housing needs of the city under the terms and conditions stipulated therein. With the kind indulgence of Councilor Ed Cabanlas, may we ask the Chair to recognize Councilor Yevona Yasini B. Imano.
Councilor Evie Imano, you recognize. Di na ako ma-pronounce. Lisod.
Second.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chairman of the committee, for allowing me and majority floor. Seeing that everything is in order, Madam Chair, I move for the approval of proposed ordinance number 2023-106.
Yes. Any second? Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final reading.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
For inclusion, Madam Presiding Officer, as seen on the the slides and in our additional item as 11, 12, 13, and 14. Move for their inclusion.
Second, objection. I hear none, motion is hereby carried.
Number 11 is proposed resolution number 2023-258 electing Councilor Malvern A. Esparcia and Councilor Agapito Erelberto Giswan. As nagseka na ganina, wapay session si EB. As additional members of the Committee on Planning, Research and Innovation and People's Organization Accreditation, amending for the purpose resolution number 14200-2022. Move for its approval, Madam
Any
Presiding
second?
Officer.
Objection. I said objection.
Ganina, nag-object siya, wapay session.
An objection? None. Okay. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried. Congratulations, you two.
Move to approve second final reading.
Any second? Any objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried. Nagsabot mo ha? Okay.
Number 12 is a proposed resolution number 2023-259, commending and congratulating the herein Cagayanon athletes who won medals during the recently concluded Batang Pinoy 2022 National Championships held in Vigan, Ilocos Sur last December 17 to 22, 2022. Names to be supplied, subject to styling. Proponent, Councilor John Michael El Seno, and all members. Move for its approval, Madam Presiding Officer.
Second. Any objection? Councilor Roger Abaday, you recognize?
If the proponent will agree with me or the council members, why not include also the coaches and manager to be
As
congratulated?
amended, Madam Presiding Officer.
Okay, please include the coaches. Okay. Sige.
As amended.
Motion.
I'm moving, Madam Chair, and
Where?
my colleagues for the approval.
Murag lingaw
Anyway.
kayang presiding karon.
Gwapo, ingon
Tungod siguro sa attire.
Ingon
Tungod sa
magka.
attire.
Oh.
Mo din ni siya.
So where are we now? I'm lost.
For the approval as amended.
Okay, second. Any objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final readings.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 13 is proposed resolution number 2023-260, earnestly requesting the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, LTFRB Regional Office number 10, this city, to investigate the reported overcharging of fare rates and fare contracting scheme by public utility vehicles at the Macabalan Port area subject to styling. Proponent, Councilor James K. Judith II. Move for its approval, Madam Presiding Officer.
Any second? Objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final readings.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Number 14 is proposed resolution number 2023-261, earnestly requesting His Honor City Mayor Rolando A. Uy to consider rehiring the city's consultants on traffic management, namely Engineer Avalin Kahulugan and Dr. Annabel Abuzo, subject to styling. Move for its approval, Madam Presiding Officer.
Second. Any objection? I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
Move to approve second final readings.
Second. Objection. I hear none. Motion is hereby carried.
There being no other pending, Madam Presiding Officer, move to adjourn.
Session adjourned. Kailan ba ko ng aba?